Hi, I'm Mrs. Cantin. I am a teaching artist with the Swope Art Museum's Summer Art Studio, and today I'm going to give you some tips on creating a monotype using markers. So let's talk about your materials. You are going to need a printing plate. This For our printing plate, super simple materials. We're just using a plastic bag, and I've taped it down just so it won't move around. You could also use like a grocery sack that you cut up. You'll need some paper, some ordinary water, based markers, and a spray bottle or a damp cloth will work for this. All right, let's get to it. First step, my printing plate is ready to go. So I'm using my markers and I'm going to draw my design. So most of the time in art, you're putting your material or your drawing right onto the paper. But printmaking gives us some extra options because we have this printing plate. So monotype means that I can make one print from this. I'm going to print it once, and that's it. It's one of a kind. I'm trying to use as much color as I can using my water-based markers. Trying to fill up the whole plate as much as I can. Just kind of having fun with it. So it's good to understand that what you see on your printing plate with this process, it's going to change, and that's okay. It's going to end up a little bit different when it finally makes its way to the paper, but that's okay. That's kind of the surprise factor up to it. All right. All right, my design is on my printing plate. I have my paper. I want to make sure the paper picks up my design from the printing plate. So I can use a damp cloth to get the paper wet, or I can use a spray bottle. So my paper is ready to go, but I have these puddles. I don't really want puddles. So this is where the cloth comes in. I want it to be, shiny wet, but I don't want to have puddles. So this is better. This is ready to go. So my paper goes wet side down right on top of my printing plate. And so I'm using my hand, and traditionally in printmaking, you would use a printing press to apply pressure. But the fun thing about this technique is that you don't need anything fancy, and we're just using our hands to apply pressure. I've had my students before, they use their marker like this to get a little bit extra pressure. So do that if it works for you. Okay, this is where the surprise happens. We're going to flip it over, and the ink that was on the printing plate is now on my paper. It's transferred over. So, like I said, there's kind of a surprise factor, and it does flip your drawing. So if you want to put words on there, keep in mind your words would have to be spelled backwards with the letters facing backwards, if you were going to use words. So here's my design, and so something I did, since this is kind of a watery look, something that I did, I used markers and I colored on top of that design to kind of add an extra layer, to add a little extra detail, and I was really happy with how it turned out. And just to finish up your print, to be like a traditional printmaker, don't forget to sign your print using a pencil. So the title for this, right in the middle, I'm going to call it Big Sun, and this is one of one. I'm only going to make one. So one of one, and then I'm going to sign my artist signature in the bottom corner. All right, and that is my monotype print. So thank you for watching. Feel free to share your work using the hashtag Swope Art Museum, or send us a copy of what you've been working on at summer@swope.org. Thanks.